For weeks, we looked up the massive billboards in airports and highways and saw the face of a tourism official smiling back at us instead of the breathtaking islands the department was supposed to promote. The department's social media accounts, as well as several magazines, carry the same face. Public outrage finally forced them down, but a quiet frustration lingers, especially when the data paints a harsh reality. In 2025, while our neighbors like Malaysia welcomed over 40 million visitors and Thailand soared past 30 million, the Philippines sat near the bottom of Southeast Asia with just over 6 million. The international crowds are passing us by. The survival of our shores, our hotels, and our local economies has fallen entirely on us. This Holy Week, the domestic traveler is the engine keeping the country alive. But carrying the weight is exhausting. We are moving not just to escape the grind, but to unknowingly sustain the very places that have left behind by the rest of the world. It is easy to look at the terminal lines and call it madness, but you have to understand the sheer grit of the Filipino traveler. The Philippine summer is short and a long weekend is a rare currency. We endure the 3-hour lines. We sit in endless gridlock on the expressways. We do it because we are desperate for the ocean, and because deep down, we know that if we don't visit our own shores, nobody else will. But March also brings the season of fasting. Traditionally, it is a time to strip away comforts. Yet, looking at this mass exodus, perhaps we need a different kind of fast. A fast from the rush. A fast from the relentless pressure to perform, to pack our schedules, and to maximize every single second of our lives. There is a danger in our desperation for a break. We've been conditioned to believe that a vacation only counts if it is maximized. We book the flights, we map the cafes, we optimize our rest the exact same way we optimize our work. We are so terrified of wasting our rare free time that we accidentally script the joy right out of it. If we are treating our relaxation like a high-stakes corporate project, we haven't escaped the city. We've just brought its anxiety to the beach, trading fluorescent lights for sunlight, but keeping the exact same pressure. Sunog ang buhok, di ba? Ay! We have forgotten to be entirely useless. We are so used to chasing peace far away, assuming that distance equals relaxation. But sometimes you don't need a boarding pass or a grueling 12-hour drive. Sometimes a change of pace is enough. There is a profound rebellion in booking a quiet room a few blocks from where you live, walking to a neighborhood cafe, and letting the city move without you. A true sanctuary doesn't require an exodus. Safety and stillness can be found right around the corner if we stop running long enough to book. So where do we go? The map doesn't demand that you lock yourself in the city while the rest of the world sees the sun. It only asks that you travel on your own terms. If you want to reclaim the empty avenues and silent cafes of Metro Manila, when millions have evacuated, then stay. But if you need a horizon, then go. Just leave the spreadsheet behind. Let the tourism sector worry about the numbers. Your only job is to find your quiet, wherever that happens to be. The secret to the long weekend isn't finding a place no one has ever heard of. It's finding a place that doesn't demand a performance from you. The country is vast. You can find silence in the deserted massage spa in the heart of the metro. Or you can find it at the very edge of the Philippine Sea. The intermission isn't a coordinate. It's the permission you give yourself to turn off the machine, to stop producing, and to just exist in the blank spaces of the day. If you choose to move past the center. When everyone crowds the famous white sands, look for the volcanic ash of Zambales.
His eyes are like angels, but his heart is cold. No need to ask, he's still loving me. Insurance to hold.
When the accessible islands are fully booked, endure the punishing boat ride to the golden edges of Jomalig. The effort to reach the far edges of the map acts as a filter. It strips away the noise. What remains is a quiet so loud, it forces you to drop the itinerary entirely. Out there, the ocean doesn't care about your schedule, and the wind doesn't ask for your productivity.
Wonder if you think about me like I think of you. Wonder if you dream the way I do. When you look at clouds, do you see places as I do? Do you get caught by your own thoughts like I do? Wonder what would happen if I showed these words to you.
The anxiety of where to go is often just a fear of being left behind. But whether you choose to stay in the ghostly silence of the city or ride out to the ash and the wave, remember that the choice is entirely yours. This is the beginning of the fast, not from food, but from the noise. Stop counting the hours. Reclaim the spaces that the rush has abandoned. See you on the shoreline.
You got something that my heart just can't ignore, that I've never felt before. And if you go, I wanna go there with you.